to eliminate the governor's authority to use peacetime emergency restrictions on public schools is headed to the Senate floor for a vote. I spoke with the bill's author, Senator Carla Nelson. You have introduced a bill that would eliminate the governor's authority to use a peacetime emergency to restrict schools. Why are you bringing this forward?
Shannon, thank you so much for bringing this issue forward. School closures has been one of the most controversial and impactful effects of the COVID pandemic. And I'm bringing this bill forward now because we have gone through nearly a year of COVID, and we have learned so much more than we knew in March of 2020 when the governor closed schools. At that time, I was glad that he did, because quite frankly, we didn't know very much about the virus. We had no treatments, no therapies, certainly no vaccines on the market. And of course, we didn't even know how it spread, and we were way off on the fatality rate. And so we've just learned so much in the last year that it is clear that it's time that local school districts, those people who know the risks on the ground, certainly the risks in Cambridge, Minnesota are different than the risks in St. Paul, Minnesota. The risks are very different, and so are the mitigation efforts that the school districts can take. And so I believe it is time, with all that we know about the virus that we didn't know before, plus the treatments, the therapies, the vaccines, that these are decisions that are best made at the local level. And that's what this bill does.
So what I hear you saying is that initially you were in support of the governor's closure of the schools, but now that it has gone on so long, you would like to remove that authority so that it is done at the local level. But I wonder if this bill passed in a future pandemic, hopefully not, but if one happened, would you be restricting a future governor to take necessary steps?
Well, I think always there are additional laws that are passed every year. So there's one thing we know about our law: it is not stagnant. In other words, it changes based upon the conditions on the ground, as our statutes do. And so we are at a time now where it is very clear that that authority that the governor used during the original peacetime emergency has really been outlived. It is not meeting the needs. And quite frankly, that was done at a time when we only knew the risks of the virus, which we knew nothing about. Now we know the risks of school closures. We have seen failures, 400% increase in failures in some of our school districts. We saw kids that checked out in March of last year, over 30% of them, and never checked back in. They missed the entire year of school. Probably one of the most shocking things that we've seen that is really chilling, that should give us all great concern, is that the CDC recently released a report that looked at 18 to 24-year-olds, and literally 1 out of 4 of them had seriously considered suicide. Mental health needs are just escalating dramatically under these closures. And the point is, we know so much more now. It is up to, I believe, the governor and the commissioner should still provide guidance. I don't for 1 minute think that local school districts have the medical expertise as the Minnesota Department of Health does. So those guidance things should still be there. But that final decision should be a decision left to the locally elected school boards.
The bill language says that the governor would not be able to, quote, alter school schedules, curtail school activities, or order schools closed, end quote. So by activities, are you referring to school sports, which has been, very controversial? Parents want their kids to still be doing these activities, and yet it's uncertain how safe it is.
Yes, it does. It includes any activities where students would no longer be allowed in school. So I would look at that as including sports activities as well. Again, we're in a new place. We're in a different place now, and it's time that our laws actually reflect the status on the ground.
What are you hearing from members of school boards? Because this would leave the decision up to the locally elected school board. Are they hungry for this, or is this something that maybe feels like too much of a burden in terms of their decision making?
Yes, that is a very good question. First, the Minnesota Association of School Boards sent a letter about Senate File 2, and they talked about local control, and they support local control, and they want local control. But at the very end, they said they don't support the bill. So I think I think that is indicative of the reality that anytime you're in a position of leadership and you have to make difficult decisions, they are difficult decisions. But I don't really fault the school boards for that, although some are definitely asking for this. Some are asking for this. Some school superintendents are definitely asking for this ability. But some who are cautious, I think, liability is a big issue, and we aren't going to cover it right here, but I would say that COVID liability is the ongoing issue that we have to figure out how we are going to address, and our school boards are no different. It's something the legislature, whether it be with our medical institutions, our shopkeepers, our school boards, we have to really get serious about COVID liability, and that will be a topic for another show.
Now, one thing that I caught on the news just this morning, because elementary schools are in the process of opening or have already opened all around the state, but in Stillwater, there was an outbreak at an elementary school, and so they are pivoting right back into distance learning. Ideally, is that how this would work? That, it's not a statewide mandate anymore. So according to the school boards, they can be open. And if they are open, if they have outbreaks or the numbers in the community reach a certain threshold, then they would pivot to distance. But it's done in a regional way as opposed to a, statewide way.
Yes, and that's what's happening right now. And I would just say a couple things. I think that moving back and forth between in-person, hybrid, and distance is very harmful and very hard on kids. But I think the governor got it wrong when he said that all kids will be distance learning. What he should have said is that every school child will have the opportunity for a individualized, personal, digital, online education. Those resources exist, aligned to Minnesota standards. We should have been able to offer that by now to every student. And then students because students are different too. Not only are the districts diverse, students are different. Some students have underlying medical conditions, and their parents are not going to want to send them into the classroom. And so those students should have that ability for that personalized digital online learning aligned to Minnesota grad standards. But again, the decision should be made at that local level. And of course, the parents are so important in determining, is it a greater risk for Johnny to stay home, or is it a greater risk for him to go into the schools? But again, we are in a very different place than we were in March of 2020. And that is why I think it is time to trust our local elected school officials with this decision, who know the risks best, and also the mitigation efforts that are in place. And then of course the parents. No parent should be required to send their child back if they do not feel it is safe. But it is our obligation as the state to provide an online alternative.
Senator Carla Nelson, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk about this very difficult issue.
Thank you so much, Shannon. There could be nothing more important than making sure that our kids, all of our kids, get a great education. And the one thing I will say is this distance learning has further impacted and just exacerbated our terrible nation-leading achievement gap. Our students are going to be suffering for years. We just have to get it right.